Welcome to Message from the Masters. Life's a journey. Enjoy the ride.
I never really wanted to be a hairdresser or a hair colorist. That was never like my goal. I always wanted to do something really creative, but I never knew what it was. I got out of high school and I went to school for business. I went and did a semester at Regis University in Denver. I was studying for business and it was funny because that's what I thought I had to do. My parents are super, super cool. They're just like really chill people, but for some reason, I was always like, oh, this is what I have to do. Like no matter what, this is what I have to achieve. So I went to business school because that's what I thought my dad wanted. And I went and it was just the worst thing for me because it just locked me in place. It didn't let me just be who I was. And so I quit and I actually took a year where I was just crazy. I think I was 18 or 19 at that time. And then after a while, I actually got this really weird job working for a copy machine rental company, whatever that is, and worked there for 6 months, made like great deals of money for being 18, 19, but I hated it. Like every single day I went and I was just like, this is not what I want. I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew that wasn't it. And I quit one day, like out of the blue. And my biggest fear was to make my mom or my dad disappointed. So I said, oh, I'm gonna lie to them. I'm gonna drive on my way home to a school and get paperwork. And I went to the school and it was closed. So I was like, what's the next best thing that I can do? So I went to a beauty school, got paperwork from them. And when I got there, they were like, well, we have the paperwork, but we also have our admissions officer that you can talk to. I was like, okay, I'll do it. So I talked to her and she said, what we can do for you is if you sign up today, we have a program where for 2 weeks you can go to school, and if you hate it, you don't have to pay anything. You just quit. And so I was like, oh, perfect. That's gonna be the best lie that I can tell my mom is, oh, I've decided what I'm gonna do, and I have 2 weeks to really decide. So I signed up, that was on a Thursday or a Friday, and I started beauty school that Tuesday, and I never left. When I went to the Aveda Academy, I remember stepping in. It was my first day. It was a group of 3 of us that started. And their education system I thought was really impressive. So I sat down in class and I remember thinking to myself, like, this is what I want to do. I want to be a professional. And so they gave me the path and I started on that path. And I remember I really pursued it very hard for about a year. I wrote on my mirror in my bathroom in red lipstick, which I don't know why I had red lipstick, but I wrote, I want to become a professional. And I did not take it off of that mirror for a whole year. I didn't like wash it, I didn't clean it, I left it on there. And after a year, I became one, which was really cool. It was terrifying, but really cool. I wanted to be excellent, I wanted to be the best that I could be. And I knew that teachers are always better, or know more information. And I wanted to know as much as I could. I think when I dive into something, when I start whatever it is that I'm doing, I love to know as much about it as I can. I always prepare as much as I can. So if I'm gonna do a photo shoot or something, even though it's a creative process, I want to have it locked down into a square and be able to say, this is the formula that it takes to create success. I feel like all of my goals I've already known. I mean, not yet, because you always evolve and you always change. But when I started doing hair, I knew I had certain goals. So one of them, before I was with Aveda, was to own a salon. I said, I want to own my own business. I want to own a salon. That was like from the get-go. Then when I became an Aveda colorist, that's when I said I want to become a professional. So I knew that I was going to own a salon from the second that I started doing hair. I didn't know when or why. And the type of person that I am, every time I want something, I like to put it on the back burner, because the second I move it to the front burner, it happens. Which is really, it's weird, cool, and scary at the same time. So owning a salon, I always had it in the back. And I knew I wanted to do it, but I couldn't bring it up. I couldn't talk about it. I couldn't do it right away, because the second that I put it in the front burner, it was gonna get in motion. And I didn't want to do it before I was ready. So last Congress in 2013, I had the opportunity to do my own presentation. And I knew as a business person that having that opportunity was going to be the best platform for my own salon. And so I had already kind of started thinking about it, but I knew I wanted to do it right there and then. So literally, I think I put it on the front burner in October, and I signed the paperwork in January. It was really, really fast. I bought into a salon, so I have a business partner, but in Denver, there's a really cute little neighborhood called the Highlands. It's really funny because there's an Aveda salon, Vita Salon, and I always knew that's the salon that I wanted, but I never went to it. I don't know why I didn't go. Not once. Even before I bought it. Like, I knew where the salon was, I knew who owned it, and I started having a conversation with somebody about buying it. Like, this private conversation. I still didn't go into the salon. I still didn't, like, really know about it. And when I decided, okay, this is the time, I called that person up and I said, hey, I want to buy your business. And not because of the business itself, but because of where it was and what it represented. I think it's a cute little salon. So I called him and I said, I want to buy into your salon. And he was like, all right, yeah, let's chat, let's sit down and talk. So we went and sat down and talked. And I Googled, like, what questions do you ask when you're going to buy a business? And one of the questions was like, why, whether or not the salon is successful or the business, there's still this desire to sell, right? So there has to be something that's either not there or something that, a reason why they want to sell it. So I asked him that question. I said, why do you want to sell your salon? Even though I approached you, why are we having this conversation? He's like, I want to have this really successful business, but there's a part missing. And he's a businessman, and he's like, the creative aspect. I have this team of people that I feel like they could get somewhere, but without the creative drive, they're not going to get anywhere. He's like, and so he told me, he said, have you ever thought of having a business partner? And I said, I've thought about it. It's not something that I really want, but I would be open to it. And we talked and came to this agreement that we were going to be business partners, and I was going to be able to do most of the running of the salon, the creative aspect, the systems and ways in which we were going to do business, and he was going to kind of keep me in check business-wise. It's really funny because he's very numbers-driven, and I am very very creative-driven. I believe that as long as you have the creative passion and that drive, the money comes with it. At first in my career, I said, I want to be successful. I want to make a dollar amount. I think I heard it from one of my first bosses. He said, I make $100,000 hairdressers. And as soon as he said that number, I didn't even know what $100,000 was. I could care less. But I said, that's what I want to be. And I'm going to work until I see that number. And at that moment, that was the most successful part. And I think that always changes every single time that I go in on a new journey, a new facet of my life. It always changes. I just feel like you have to have that. If you don't have that, then you can't do anything. I feel like no matter what, if you believe in yourself, you can get anywhere. You have to believe it though. Other people can't believe it for you. You have to know that you are going to be great. You are going to be what you want to be. And everybody's definition of greatness is different, which I have tons of friends, I have tons of people around me, and it's really weird because our definition of what success or what great is very different. And so no matter what your idea is, as long as you have it in front of you, it's like the law of attraction. If you say, this is what I want to be, I want to have a family, I want to have a salon, I want to win an award. If you put it in front of you, it's attainable. And that's why I keep things, I try to be very smart. I know what I want to do. And when I'm ready for them to manifest, I put them in front of me and I say, okay, now this is what's going to happen. right now I'm working on building a team at the salon. It's weird because we have grown the salon so at a really incredible pace. We started here and now we're here. You know, it's not what my mentors do, but it's definitely just multiplying itself. It's been 2 years, which is so funny because it's only been 2 years. But to me, I need things fast because it's on the front burner, so it needs to happen sooner. And that's what I'm doing right now, is building that team, kind of nurturing people, helping people grow, helping people see their vision of success. Because it's not my success, it's their success that I want to help them with. Themselves. I think it's always, you can only be as good as you want to be. You know, you can only be as good as you think you are. You know, I think it's people's fears that stops them from doing things, which is really terrifying because I think fear is like one of the scariest things in the world. And it's never gone, you know? So you have to learn to live it and kind of hone in on it and just say, all right, I'm gonna sit on you, fear, and I'm gonna do what it takes to kind of push you away. When people have potential and they don't see it, it makes me really, really sad. There's people in my life that I'm like, you are just so amazing, and I want you to be incredible, and I want you to be everything that you can be, and they don't see it, or they don't care. That's the worst, because if they don't care, it makes me really, really sad. I find the people who I want to mentor, and I just follow them, and I go up to them and I say, hey, I'm Luis. I'm gonna work with you. I've always said that. It's really weird because I've always been attracted to very successful people. Lupe. You know, I went to her hair color magic class a long time ago in New York City and took this class, which she told you I gave her the workbook from that class. And I remember looking and saying, I wanna work with this woman. You know, I want to work with her. I knew I was gonna move to LA. I knew I wasn't gonna go work for her salon, but I said, I want to be in her brain. I want to be very much like her, you know? And I literally took a class from her, and then she auditioned me to become a professional. She remembered who I was. And then I started working with her, and I said, hey, anytime that you need anything, let me know, because I'm there. Same thing with Alan Ruiz. I've gotten to work with him, I've gotten to know him, and it's literally, it just took me saying, hey, can I please hold a bobby pin for you? Because I know that by holding a bobby pin for him, I'm gonna be able to absorb all of the information that he has. That's the beauty of it. They have all this information that they're willing to give, and all you have to do is be able to receive it. People say that they want to be successful. People always say that. But what it takes to get there is just you wanting it and you being able to receive it. If you don't open yourself to receive it, then you can't take it. I think the most important part is to get started. Whatever it is that you're doing, just get started. Just put it into motion and you can get there as long as you get started. If you wait until the next day or the next month or the next week, it's never gonna come. You know, it's now. Like, right now is when you can do it. Right now is when it needs to happen. Because if it doesn't happen now, it's either not right for that time being, or it's not gonna happen, you know? I know there's things that I wanna do in my life, but I'm not focused on those things yet because I don't need them to happen yet. Right now is what I need to happen. What I'm working on right now is what needs to happen right now. So if they are in a beauty school and they want to be successful, they want to have a career, they have a passion for doing hair, I think it's important to get started now. Don't wait. Because if you wait, time just passes you by. And then at one point, it's never too late, but if you didn't get started yesterday, you already wasted a day.
Okay, ask him your last question.
What's your favorite swear word?
I don't have one. No, what do I say a lot? I mean, I swear a lot, but my favorite one would have to be probably like, I say that quite a bit, actually.